The following is a presentation of CBC Sports.
Figure skating in its purest form is an exchange of energy. The electricity, the ebb and flow, the dance. An outpouring of artistry, movement, and grace gliding across the ice. When harnessed, it can yield the incredible and leave you feeling on top of the world. The Garden was the perfect setting for this year's World Figure Skating Championships. Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Poget gave it their all, but it was the French who dazzled in the dance. Hanyu was electric in the short, but Javier dug deep, rose to the occasion. Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford had the free skate of their lives and defended their world title. Gracie Gold and Ashley Wagner electrified the home crowds. But the free skate belonged to a young Russian who made history. Tonight is the Gala, a chance for the skaters to kick back, relax, forget about the rules, and put on a show. Road to the Olympic Games is brought to you by RBC, proud supporter of the Olympic movement in Canada. Boston on a Sunday night, an early April whiff of winter rolled through the Old Town early this morning, but there is warmth to be found in the ice house, and so we retreat to the skating rink, go back to the Garden one final time, and celebrate a spectacular Summit on Ice in New England. Hello everyone, welcome ringside to Boston and the World Figure Skating Championships on CBC. I'm Scott Russell. This is a marathon city. Fitting, really, because it's been a marathon season on ice. Many of the skaters who came here began crisscrossing the globe in early October in order to compete. They were all working their way towards Boston and the World Figure Skating Championships, and for 5 days now they've soared and spinned, all in search of a moment, maybe even a golden moment. But the competition is over now. Still, we're a ways from the finish line because it's time to put on a show. And with that in mind, let's go upstairs to the booth. Andy Petrillo, Kurt Browning, and Carol Lane.
Thank you, Scott. Well, what a week it has been in Boston. In all of the disciplines except for one, we saw a repeat champion.
Used world titles.
Gently used. They were gently used, but you know what? They didn't mind retaining them. The only one that we saw a brand new champion, that was in the ladies. We'll get to that in just a second, but first, it was the dance. That's who was crowned first, and we saw Gabrielle Papadakis and Guillaume Cizeron of France keep that title.
And kudos to Gabby and Guillaume. I mean, what a rough season they've had. She had the concussion. They barely competed all year, but they showed in Boston why they are true champions. Magnificent is not the word.
And then it was the men's turn, and perhaps this was the first dramatic competition that we saw this time around this week, and that's because Yuzuru Hanyu created such a lead in the short program. Everyone thought he was untouchable, but then Fernandez saw the little crack and said, I'm gonna bust it open and take it.
Well, he actually didn't know. I asked him. He didn't know that the door was wide open. He went about his business, landing quad after quad seamlessly. He had the audience in the palm of his hand, his acting skills, everything. One of the best free skates in the history of our sport, and he's the champion again.
Everyone was on their feet for Javi Fernandez, and it was the same thing when it came to the Canadians. Megan Duhamel, Eric Radford defending their world title in pairs, and it's been an up and down season for them. Of course, they were unable to defend their Four Continents title. They weren't too happy with their short all season long, but it was all smiles here.
In the end, for Megan and Eric, it came down to trust. They trusted each other. They trusted their training. They trusted that they knew how to do everything. And when the chips were down, they did it big time.
So, of course, the ladies, where we saw a brand new champion, Gracie Gold, was golden all week long. She was leading after the short program, but it's this young 16-year-old Evgenia Medvedeva who took her first world title.
And it was the right person because she really was consistent all season, and she showed guts and everything, her heart, And look at that face. She's a worthy
So
champion.
cute.
Yep.
When she was told after the fact as well that she set a new top score in the free skate, that was last set by Yoona Kim at the Olympics. Her response with her limited English, but it was great. Wow. She had no clue. So that was the competition. Now let's get set for the good stuff,
Time
the
to party.
gala.
How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Let's make this pair team smile. From China, Wen Xing Shui and Kang Han.
Here come the Chinese pair, Wei Jingsui, Chang Han. Finishing second in the competition after sitting first in the short. And I have to say again, the ankle that she's skating on
Andy is obsessed with that ankle.
is just non-existent. I can't believe just her tolerance for pain, and yet she's out there and looking graceful.
C'era stato un invito, stasera si va tutti a casa mia. Così cominciava la festa e già ti girava la testa. Per me non contavano gli altri, seguivo con lo sguardo se vuoi t'accompagno, se vuoi la scusa più banale è rimanere soli io e te e poi gettare via perché.
He told me there's a bittersweet story going on during this program. Two people that are in love with each other, but with other people spend one last moment together before saying goodbye forever.
Oh no, I'm going to cry. Now you've told me that.
And then he made it worse by saying he hopes the surgery goes well and that they still will have a career.
Oh, geez.
Oh my. Me too.
Well, during one of their press conferences, it was really funny when she was asked about their chemistry. She interpreted as in off the ice. And she was very quick to say, no, we're not dating. And they said, no, on the ice. And she goes, oh, he talks so much, he drives me crazy.
He told me, yes, I talk a lot, but it's because she does something different every day.
And then there's that.
So needless to say, we like this pair and we want them to stay together.
Absolutely.
We've watched them from little tiny babies in junior. I'm invested in them. I don't want them to go away. But like you say, Andrew, those injuries can potentially be very serious, and the rehab is brutal. Well, you know what? If she can't do pairs anymore, they can dance. They'd make a great little dance team.
There you go.
Beautiful.
The door's open.
Always recruiting, aren't you,
Oh,
Karen?
yes. Never out of options.
The crowd liked that performance. Wei Jingsui and Chang Han of China.
He is 18 years
Welcome
old.
back to the World Figure Skating Championships from Boston, presented by RBC. This is the fun part. This is the gala, where all the skaters get to come out, music of their choice, a fun program, things they can do that they can't do in competition. And he looks like he has some props. This is Bo Ying-shin of China.
I don't know if I understand this number at all, but I kind of like it.
Well, as soon as you start using props, you need to practice a long time for your skating and then twice as long to teach the prop what it is supposed to do.
Never work with animals, children, or props, right?
You're asking for trouble. Come on. It's supposed to be an exhibition. It's supposed to chillax. That was a quad.
No garbage bags were harmed in the making of those pants.
It's winding up for another jump. I bet it's going to be a triple axel. Of course it is. Boyang is his real name. We call him Boing Boing for obvious reasons.
Okay, good. I'm really happy he picked those up off the ice. I thought he was going to trip over them.
Worrying you.
It was making me very stressed out.
Whoa! Geez, that thing bounced just like he does.
People love free stuff.
It's got a good arm on him.
Yeah, I mean, hope that didn't take out an eye.
Oh.
He's famous for doing quad lutz, which really nobody else on the planet has mastered. And that was the triple version. He's just so used to doing 4 revolutions. Couldn't stop at 3. Well, if he's gutsy enough to do this, it'll be interesting to watch and see what he comes up with over the next 2 years. There it is, it finally stopped.
He's got some funk. He's got some Daft Punk. Boyang Jin of China giving out some souvenirs while he's at it here at the Gala. Here are the Italian ice dancers, Anna Cappellini, Luca Lanotte.
Somebody was late for the bus.
Yeah.
And just ran.
It's pretty much how I look in the morning, minus the teddy bear.
Fuzzy and cuddly. Oh, you're not the bear, I see. Gala. Anything goes.
I was going to say, that's how my husband and I start off waking up in the morning, but then we don't do that. Not getting tossed up in the air on ice. So they wake up pretty quickly.
Nope, back to
Oh, that's cold. She's making me cold. Oh, there comes the blankie. Typical man, stealing the covers.
Oh. This doesn't look good.
He's going to change this music for me forever.
Never get on the wrong side of Anna Cappellini.
You know, and leave it to the Italians to come up with something like this, where the woman is always getting mad at the husband.
In skating as in life.
And spoken from a place of truth there, Andy.
This may or may not occur on a daily basis in my household.
See, all is forgiven.
Slightly over-enthusiastic finish there.
They just couldn't make up their minds if they wanted to wake up or not. But a great performance by the Italian ice dance couple, Anna Cappellini and Luca Lanotte. Taking to the ice for his gala skate next will be the Canadian Patrick Chan.
Welcome back to the Garden in Boston, the Championship Gala, the World Figure Skating Championships on CBC. And here's four-time world champion Kurt Browning. Boy, is it ever nice to be with you in the booth and to finally get to work together.
Yeah, it's been a long week without you, Scott.
Yeah, thanks. Listen, we have to talk about the comeback season. Everybody in Canadian figure skating is. The comeback season of Patrick Chan. It's a tough thing to do to get back to the top.
Especially when the sport that you were in, the men's discipline, has accelerated so fast while Patrick was off. And he learned a lot about expression, about himself, but when he came back, he had to be even better than he was when he won 3 world titles, and that's a tough call by anyone. For him, if he would have been on the podium here, that would have been a victory.
Let's talk quickly about motivation and try to get into his head a little bit.
Right.
Why does someone who has done so much try to get back and do even more?
That's an easy answer, because he literally wants to be a legend in the sport. He has very high goals for himself. He knows that his talent ratio is higher than, well, he's really one of the best we've ever seen. He wants to meet his own talent ratio, which means win, win, win. He expects a lot of himself.
All right, all season long, he struggled with the short program.
He did.
Here's how the short program panned out here in Boston.
You're humbled. Always learn a lot about him in that opening sequence. Is his face relaxed? Is his knees working? And it looks good so far.
Right there with those little steps, you see the essence of Patrick Chan, those incredible skating skills.
Speed from nothing. Looking light and breezy, the shoulders are down. Triple axel. He's got some work to do. No.
He has a love-hate relationship with that jump, and today, definitely not love.
So there's never, ever straight surrender. Oh, there's a tumble down. It's down by the river, don't you know? Where the second bed, trooping on down. Oh, that seems nice, just it's there for the wait day. I'll get you there. Oh, Mackie's back in town.
work. The body weight transfer from one foot to the other, so seamless, so beautiful.
Patrick Chan back on World Ice here in Boston, Massachusetts.
All right, well, not bad. He finds himself in third position after the short program. Leading by a big margin is Yuzuru Hanyu, the Olympic champion.
Really big margin.
Oh, yeah, big
Really
margin is right, 110 plus. And then Javier Fernandez, the defending champion of Spain.
Yep.
So let's see how the competition wound up. It was Hanyu that was the first to go. What did you make of his skate?
You know what? He's been very unusual off the ice, picking, I'm not going to say a fight, but accusing skaters of getting in his way, venting backstage. He seemed unsettled, and yet skating some very clean practices until the long, and something just was off. He could not find his center, and he just wasn't himself.
I know it's cliche to say, but he opened the door for other competitors to get close to him, and you knew that a champion who wanted to defend the title was going to be able to take advantage of that. Javier Fernandez was quite simply spectacular.
And he says afterwards that he didn't know that that door was wide open. All he did was go out there and do what he does, but nobody has seen him do it like this. Every single thing. That tiny little area you saw was the biggest mistake he made. 3 quads, personality plus. He nailed it and was, well, he put himself in the history books almost. I think it's the second best scoring free skate, but I'm going to say emotionally and in the situation, one of the best free skates of all time.
Yeah, back-to-back world championships for Javier Fernandez of Spain. The last man to go in the competition was Patrick Chan. He did have a chance, but he couldn't make it materialize.
He had a long wait, and then he had a bad relationship with the ice. You get it into your head as a skater that there's something wrong with the ice, and it haunts you. He hit the boards because he didn't do a combination on his first jump. He had to change his program around, and I think that's why his pattern was off. It just wasn't there. He popped jumps, which means that you are doubting yourself, and it was painful for him. And he gets off the ice thinking, I just didn't feel like myself. The ice, he just couldn't feel it that day.
Final results in the men's competition. Javier Fernandez of Spain wins his second back-to-back world championship. Yuzuru Hanyu of Japan takes the silver medal. It's Boyang Jin of China for the bronze. Patrick Chan in 5th. And earlier, here at the Garden, he had a chance to speak with Andy.
Here we are in the Garden in Boston. Many, many memorable hockey games have been played here, and you are a huge hockey fan.
Yeah.
How cool is it when you get the chance to skate on NHL ice?
It's very special. Of course, especially here at the Garden, it's where the Bruins play, and the Bruins are probably one of the best teams in the league and a dynasty and so much history in this team. So when you get a chance to skate in a rink with 3-tier level of seating, it's special. And especially yesterday in the long program, I felt like I had a moment where I stepped on the ice for the 6-minute warm-up and looked up at the full range of people that were here, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience that you really feel like you're in a special moment in your life.
Talking about being hockey fans, they're on the ice with their teammates.
Yes.
And here you are, the crowd around you, and you're by yourself. But I have noticed in a lot of your answers now with the media, there does seem to be a lot of self-reflection.
Yeah.
You talk about how, well, I need to do this for me. I'm my biggest competitor. So how do you stay within your own head now, this time around, coming back?
Yeah.
That maybe you didn't do before.
Yeah. And funny enough, you bring that up because I remember at the Olympics in Sochi, Jonathan Toews came up to me and he was like, I have so much respect. This is Jonathan Toews who's coming up to me and saying that he has so much respect for us figure skaters because it's all on us. we have complete responsibility of our actions, and that leads me into realizing that the only way I can be successful at performing by myself is by self-reflection and understanding why I'm truly doing this, and really honestly blocking out everything around me. And that's the hardest part. It's right in front of you, all these people, the judges are sitting at ice level looking at you. It's hard to not think about them, and that's the challenge, that's the skill of, and that's what we call, I think, the mental part of competing, is being able to shut out everything that's going on around you.
And I know everyone is going to be looking forward to next season and what you can bring there.
Thank you.
So thanks so much for taking the time, and good luck.
My pleasure.
Please welcome to the ice.
Patrick Chan.
And here comes the Canadian, Patrick Chan, 5th here at the Worlds in his comeback season, only the 2nd time in his career off the world podium. But speaking to him, he knows that it was tough stepping away and then having to come back. He acknowledges that. And then it's getting back to work during the so-called off-season. I guess skaters don't really have those. But
I was going to say, what's that?
And this program simply is constructed so well. Great choice of music, well costumed, and it showcases what could arguably be the best male skater ever.
But let's face it, it's not this that's let him down, it's the technical inconsistencies.
It's also what got him there. He was the first one to do multiple quads consistently in this new era. He initiated the whole thing.
That's right. Next year's short program, anyone? This would be great for him.
Well, that felt good for Patrick Chan, and I know that felt good for his fans. Great way to end off a week here in Boston for the Canadian.
Coming up next from the Gala, American Max Aaron, a hockey player turned figure skater.
Welcome back to the World Figure Skating Championships here on CBC, presented by RBC. This is Max Aaron of the United States. Looking forward to this one. A little AC/DC action for you here at the Gala.
From the United States,
Akadaka in the building.
So this can be fun.
I wonder what AC/DC thinks when they sitting there with their moms watching figure skating and this happens. Aw, the shirt doesn't fit right.
As long as the pants fit, we're okay.
I don't think there's a lot of older women in this building complaining.
Probably not. He wasn't complaining after this long program. He is a fast skater. He's a hockey player as well. And he attacks the jumps with reckless abandon, kind of like skating into the corner with your head down. And he nailed his quads and literally finished. This place sounded like an AC/DC concert when he finished his program.
I feel like he just needs that, you know, the cigarette pack just rolled up in his sleeve.
You mean the vitamin pack? Rolled up.
Yes, that's what the modern kids are doing now.
That's right. This is almost done, and those jeans haven't ripped yet. I'm
Industrial strength.
kind of amazed.
Good advertisement for stretch jeans. Right there by Max Aaron.
I like the running move. That was awesome.
Putting on a show here in Boston at the Gala, Mr. Max Aaron of the United States.
Max Aaron.
Next up, Mawasada looking all chic. So used to seeing her in flowy outfits. Now she's like, I got some sass.
And class.
She's in the pink.
And she's putting on the Ritz.
Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on a famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air, hard hats and emerald collars, wild spats, lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time.
Was one of the skaters this week who learned how really difficult it is to come back after a hiatus. It didn't work out very well for anyone that tried to make a comeback this week. And you know, it's amazing how fast the sport is moving now.
homeless, dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper.
A double version of the famed triple axel that Mao has used in the past to take her to the top. It's really fun for skating fans to get to see their favorite skaters just divulge a little bit of their personalities, how they move to music when they're relaxed, how they use their expressions, senses of humors, if you can say it that way. I just did.
So many great moments to the sport over the years. Enjoyed watching her through all of her many manifestations.
Whoa, fancy feet. It's fun to see her move in different ways, and this is a really cool little exhibition number. Very creative, playful.
I actually want that jacket.
I, of course, want the hat.
Poor girl won't have any clothes left the way you two are going.
She can afford it. Sweet.
Nice one.
Fun, sparkly rendition of Putting on the Ritz by Mao Asada of Japan.
About Boston, Mao Asada.
And the American silver medalist Ashley Wagner is coming up next on Boston Ice.
Welcome back inside the Garden here in Boston. Andy alongside Carol Kurt having a great time here at the Gala. Let's talk about the ladies competition and in particular how the Canadians did. You had the national champion Alain Chartrand here as well as the national silver medalist Gabby Delman. But let's begin with Alain. How would you describe how this competition went for her?
Well, Elaine must be scratching her head right now because she did everything right this week. She practiced so well. We saw clean run-throughs, great jumps, but somehow when it got to the competition, it just deserted her and she just didn't have the skate she wanted.
And it wasn't way off, it was just this far off.
Yeah.
But it was enough.
So she finished 11th last year, this year 17th. So yes, she's probably disappointed there, but for Gabby Delman, a completely different story for her. 21st last season, but that's because she was dealing with an injury this time, coming on in, feeling great. She gets a top 10 finish, 9th for Gabby.
And you might almost say that losing her Canadian title helped her at the World Championships. I think it made her hungry, and what she found was soft knees and confidence. She sold her programs and was rewarded for it. And she had, look at that, the reaction, the week of her skating life.
That's what we love to see in the kiss and cry,
absolutely.
is more of the joyful tears there. And that was the case for Gabby Delman. Here she is with Scott Russell.
Surrounded by figure skating history, Gabby Delman making a little Canadian figure skating history. The only skater besides Joanie Rochette to score over 190 in an international event. That must make you pretty happy.
That makes me so happy. Growing up, Joanie Rochette has always been an idol. She's such a beautiful skater to watch, and she's still such a huge inspiration to me. So to find that out yesterday after having 3 new season's best was just unbelievable.
You said to me when we came up here that you had never skated in front of a crowd like that, the one at the Garden. What was that feeling like for you?
Oh my God, it was so loud. People started cheering the moment I got on the ice just to do a 2-minute warm-up. I wasn't even doing anything. I was just like skating backwards and drinking water, talking to my coaches, and people were like already starting to cheer so loud, and as soon as my name came up, I've never seen so many Canadian flags in an audience, and the crowd was unbelievable. It was so amazing. I couldn't hear my music at some parts. It was so loud. It was so breathtaking.
You had your family here to share that with you. Your brother Zach, who you train with at the cricket club in Toronto. Your mom Rhonda was here. Your dad Michael, who's your physical trainer. To be surrounded by family obviously had to be very important.
It was so important. My dad normally doesn't come to competitions because he can't get the time off work, so just having him here with me was such a big deal for me, and I was so happy and so emotional that he could come and watch me, especially because he's my off-ice trainer, and he takes care of me, drives me to physio all the time when I can't drive or I'm too tired. So just having him here, my brother, my mom, was just huge inspirational and was so emotional for me to show them that all the hard training that they don't get to see every day finally paid off, and that they get to see that in competition.
You know what? You have a habit of making history. You were Canada's youngest Olympian in Sochi. You were only 16 years of age. You had to be chaperoned around. Now you're Gabby Daleman, who's top 10 at the World Championships. Where do you go from here, and how eager are you to get back to work to get even better?
I'm so eager to get back to work from here. I have one more competition this season, and then it's off to get ready for next season. And it's just progressing and pushing myself even further in the sport, and just to get higher and higher in the world, and just improve my skating, just to show people what I'm capable of, and that I can be at the top of the world, and that I can do what everyone else can, and I'm working really hard for it.
Hey Gabby, keep making history.
Thank you so much.
So a great competition for the Canadian, and let's talk about the top three, and in particular, the one who took home gold and actually made history too. Evgenia Medvedeva, she won the World Junior Championships last year and became the first woman to win the Senior Championships the very next year, and she was just effortless out there.
Not only did she win, she won with a record score in the free skate. Clean landings and getting GOE, grade of execution, bonus marks on every element. Nobody else had a chance.
When we talk to the Canadian, or the American women, I should say, or even about the American women, it was always about this drought. They have not been on the world podium in 10 years. Everyone thought it was going to be Gracie Gold who was going to end that. Why not? National champion, leading after the short program. This was supposed to be hers.
Well, we had said all week, could Gracie answer her own question and skate 2 clean programs? She's got everything, but it's that little flutter where she just can't close the deal, and once again, it escaped her.
Second guessing kills you. It absolutely
every
kills
time.
you. And our sport looks gentle. You can't second guess. You have to be aggressive. And I think she just got cautious.
Yeah, well, we saw aggression and we saw swagger from the other American girl. That was Ashley Wagner. Her short program brought everyone to their feet. Her long program brought everyone to their feet. She came out with this look on her face, and it was actually Ashley who ended the drought, taking the silver.
And it couldn't be a better story for her. The only person higher in the world than her right now is the record-breaking Russian girl. She wanted to be the top American, and look at that face. Her life changed at that moment.
I love that face, because normally they try to stay in character, and then maybe that split second after the music ends.
Well, that was vintage Ashley.
That
right
was
there.
pure emotion right there. So Evgenia Medvedeva taking the gold, Ashley Wagner the silver. The drought is over, and the other Russian with the bronze, Anna Pogorelaya. Let's get set for Wagner's great gala skate. Ashley Wagner, what a performance she put on to get the American ladies back on the world podium. Another warm reception here at the gala. The crowd loving what she has done this week, and right away she's in character.
It's enough to make you wanna try.
such a role model for all young women skaters everywhere who face, you know, huge opposition. There are always more ladies in the discipline than there are in any other branch of the sport. And trying to fight your way through to the top is so difficult. And she's never given up. It doesn't matter what adversity she's faced. It doesn't matter what her results have been. She's turned around, addressed her needs, what she's had to do to improve, and done it. I absolutely take my hat off to her.
You know, if she was ever nervous during the short, during the free, or even now during the gala, you'd never know it. She has never broken character once out on the ice. I almost feel like we're watching a private moment between just her and herself.
Well, she can expose herself like that emotionally because she trusts the audience. And they trust her back.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2016 World Silver Medalist, Ashley Wagner.
I didn't want that to be over. Not gonna lie. That was a gala performance I enjoyed. What is Yuzuru Hanyu got up his sleeve? Welcome back to the World Figure Skating Championships here in Boston, presented by RBC. This is where the skaters get to relax, put on the show. For the crowd, it's the Gala.
2016
and now,
World Ice Dance.
the ice dancers take to the ice
From
here.
the United States, Maya Shibazani and Alex Shibazani.
Brother and sister Maya and Alex having a great year, a comeback year, so to say. They were so successful early on, then some ups and downs, and here they are back on the world podium, a second for them. Their last time was back in 2011, a bronze. And this is a brother-sister pair that, you know, perhaps doesn't fight as much. They make it look easy to be brother and sister.
One of the things they've struggled with is the whole brother and sister vibration, because, you know, in ice dancing you're so often trying to sell the relationship, the love story, which is not something brothers and sisters really want to get into. So that was their challenge, to find vehicles that showed off what are acknowledged to be superb skating skills and ability to connect with music, and make that into something the judges would reward. And this year they did it. So nice when you're not limited by competition rules and you can just do everything that the music makes you feel.
What you're seeing here is competition quality without the rules.
Exactly. Stress-free and beautiful.
Very pretty skate by Maya and Alex Shibutani.
Yep, some pretty good DNA there.
Ice dance couple from the United States. And here comes Japan's Yuzuru Hanyu. Second time silver medalist at the World Figure Skating Championships. What an incredible year it's been for him as well. And now it'll be nice to just see him in a more artistic version of his competitive self.
Now, if it was competition, he already has a 1-point deduction.
We don't judge what they're doing out on the ice. We judge costumes during the gala.
That's true.
And just enjoy, because Yuzu skates in a place that most of us can only dream about.
The fans in Boston love Yuzuru Hanyu of Japan. Getting set for their performance, the Canadians and world champions Megan and Eric.
Welcome back inside the Garden here in Boston. The 2016 World Figure Skating Championships, they're done. Now it's time for the gala, and we're having fun here. Andy, Carol, and Curtin, let's talk about the pairs. The scene was set by the Chinese pair, not actually by the Canadians. The defending world champions, Wei Jingsui, Zhang Han, sitting first after the short program, and you guys were raving about their performance.
Okay, that short program was absolutely spot on. It was emotional. Then this happened. Throw quad sow, huge risk, the same risk the Canadians take. Only for the Chinese, they went down. She also doubled another sow cow, and it was a great skate, but it was obviously not enough.
Well, when we talked about the Canadians, Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford sitting in second after the short, and you had mentioned perhaps that's exactly where they want to be because they were within striking distance. Sui and Han did that, and then the Canadians did what the Canadians do.
Well, they didn't even bother to knock on the door. They just barged straight through it with a totally clean, perfect skate. Magic moments all the way through. I couldn't be more happy for Megan and Eric.
Everyone was chanting their names when they took to the ice, and then they were on their feet chanting it some more when their free skate ended. Let's relive the moment.
Because I always look at the face, and sometimes you can tell when they're in character, when they're tense, or when they're completely relaxed.
We'll tell you in 4.5 minutes.
I was going to say, I don't know. Two elements for them are the make or break elements. Side by side, difficult choice for individual jumps, the triple Lutz.
Nailed it.
I love that subtle change of direction, that little edge to the left, little edge to the right. Staying calm. You can do it at home, you can do it here. Quad, sow, throw.
So the smile was good then.
All that clean living, all that time in the gym, that tough landing, you needed all of it. She pulled it out. Megan can't hold her emotions to herself off the ice. Why do it on the ice? She's celebrating.
The audience has been waiting for a performance to get behind, and Megan and Eric are delivering it.
Canada, you might have just done it again.
So a great showing all around for all three Canadian pairs. Yes, Duhamel Radford retained their title, but top 10 finishes as well for Ilya Shchikina and Dylan Moskovich and Kirsten Moore-Towers and Michael Marinaro. But here is Scott with the champions.
Images of the Boston Marathon here at the Garden. Megan and Eric, the world pairs champions again. Do you get the symbolism? This is not one brief shining moment, but you're in for the long haul.
Yeah, every season it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and that's what we say a lot in this sport. And our journey to this final destination has been unbelievable. This isn't the final destination, but the final destination of this season.
What is the final destination, Eric, if you could put a finger on it, and what are you working towards?
I think the final destination is going to be the 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang in Korea. After the last Olympics, we both felt that we hadn't had enough of that experience. We wanted one more time, and we kind of put ourselves on a great projection for that competition, and we just look forward to taking it season by season. It's too much to think about it all right this second, but we still feel hungry, we still feel the fire, and that competition really drives us.
It was interesting, your reaction in particular after this championship. Obviously there was the emotion there, but you said afterwards that it was good to do this for Canada, for Canadian pairs skating, and to get young people interested in what we do.
Yeah, I think that pairs figure skating is one of the most exciting, dynamic events in the figure skating, the sport of figure skating. And in the last few years, we've seen a little bit of a decline in numbers when we go to the national championships, only having 7 or 8 senior teams or 7 or 8 junior teams. So we really hope that we're opening the eyes of younger skaters to get interested in pair skating. Of course, single skating and ice dance is great, but you have this exciting event also that, it takes a certain type of personality and type of character. And it's great to try it, and hopefully we're encouraging and inspiring a new generation of pairs in Canada.
You talk about the new generation of pairs, but you are certainly leaders of a great legacy of pairs skating in this country. When you think of all those names, Underhill Martini, Saleh Peltier, and yourselves. Is that important that you be part of that, Eric?
I think we're kind of finding ourselves in that position of, really creating a lasting impression and a lasting name, Duhamel and Radford. It's really amazing. It's an incredible journey. It's more than I could have ever dreamed from when I first started skating. And as Megan said, a part of our success is really using that to inspire the younger generation. And I think that, through these types of performances like the ones we had here, it's all happening.
Yeah, well, we were certainly inspired by your performance, and congratulations to you both. You're great champions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
From Canada, Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford.
Time for the Canadians to take to the ice here, the defending world champions, winning back-to-back world titles.
Oh, that sounds good.
Doesn't it? And I see a prop. See a chair.
Well, if you're going to play the piano, you have to have a chair. Or maybe Eric just needs a break after winning 2 back-to-back world championships.
So who gets to drink the beer then?
Whoever gets there first.
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me.
That looked like magic.
He says sometimes you play me a memory. I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet. But I wore a young man's clothes.
So minus the chair, when you're in a gala, how much do these skaters perhaps use their gala performance as, oh, maybe this could be a short program for us?
Sometimes it's actually on purpose that they will be testing the waters with a program. I know that that might be happening for Javier Fernandez tonight.
Okay.
A little precursor. And sometimes, for me, for example, in '88, it's just an exhibition number that was working really well. And my coach said, why do you never miss? Because it's fun. Is it good? Then let's do it as a short.
I saw Eric in the hallway yesterday. He said he was doing Piano Man, and I asked him if he was playing the piano because he's such an accomplished pianist. He said, no, got to make do with Billy Joel tomorrow.
Pick two. Oh, this has just got to feel so good for them. They worked so hard for this. Another whole year to celebrate as world champions.
Yikes.
You want to try that one, Andy? We can arrange it for you.
No!
Clever.
Little musical chairs near the end. What a fun performance. Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford, two-time world figure skating champions. And speaking of champions, there's the ladies' champion, Evgenia Medvedeva, set to take to the ice next. The young Evgenia Medvedeva of Russia, taking her first senior world title this season. Just hasn't missed a beat.
So weary.
For the last year, this young lady has bewitched everybody. May she carry on for a very long time.
Evgenia Medvedeva of Russia, the 2016 World Ladies Champion. And we keep the theme of champions going, folks. The ice dance champions from France are coming up next.
Welcome back to Boston and the 2016 World Figure Skating Championships presented by RBC. What a great city, what a great host. It has been a great week, and in particular when we go to ice dance, what a great week it was for Canadian ice dancers. Piper Gillis, Paul Poirier, you are their coach, Carol. Why don't you take us through how you thought the week went for them?
Well, Piper and Paul are living proof that it's never too late to make changes. You know, in the 5 weeks between 4 continents and worlds, they changed their short dance music, revamped their program, and vaulted themselves into the top 5 in the short dance. Definitely the magic moment of their career so far.
Well, they looked great in that short program as well, and then I love when they have their faces up on the Jumbotron, and you see their reaction when they get their score. Piper was just vintage Piper. It was hilarious to see that. So they were feeling pretty strong, but on the flip side, you had Caitlin Weaver, Andrew Pogier. They're the top Canadian pair, expected so much. Silver 2 years ago at Worlds. Bronze. They wanted gold so badly, but they were sitting in 4th after the short.
They could taste it, and all season the audience has seen the best from them. The judges have rewarded them, and what they wanted to do here was even more, maybe to the point where it forced a small mistake, and that's all it took. The dance event was crowded and crushed in at the top, and they got pushed out.
Well, they were hoping to make up some ground in their free dance. Let's see exactly how they did there.
Last little glance, and here we go.
This program is really their story about turning sadness into joy. And if they can move up from their 4th place, that's what they will have done today. Oh, little stumble there by, oh, and he checks the 3rd twizzle. No more mistakes now. Keep it together. Beautiful footwork sequence, very smooth, very together, not losing any flow. All the time in complex dance holds. Beautiful position in the lift. Andrew has to complete one whole rotation on one foot in that lift. I hope that he did it.
The same lift that caught them up at Four Continents.
Exactly. She goes up into that lift so effortlessly.
They gave everything they had. Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Pogier of Canada. But is it enough to get them on the world podium for a third time?
From Canada, Caitlin Weaver, Andrew Pogier.
So heartbreak for the Canadians. They do not end up on the World Championship podium for the first time in 3 seasons. In fact, Canadian ice dance couples have been on the world podium for the last 10 straight years. So that ends. However, on the podium, 2 American pairs and 1 French. Let's begin with the bronze medalists, Madison Chalk, Evan Bates. They are last year's silver medalists, so they wanted to get back on the podium again.
And like everyone else, they wanted to do it on top. I think that they lost the chance to win this championship at their national championships when the other American team took over as title holders. They lost the momentum, which is so important in ice dance, to come in looking strong and allow the judges to reward you with the title.
Well, that other couple you're talking about from the United States, siblings Maya and Alex Shibutani, they took the national title and they ended up on the world podium for the first time since 2011. Could you say this has been a bit of a comeback year for them?
Oh, absolutely. And they had the opposite things happen to them. They picked a program with their Coldplay free dance to Fix You that absolutely, from the beginning of the season, transfixed audience and judges alike. And that, along with their technical skill and superb skating and emotional performance, got them into that silver medal spot.
And then it was the reigning champions from France, Papadakis and Cizeron. I think we all agreed it was a bit of a shaky, short dance, but that's why the points were so tight. And then they came out in the free and were just so beautiful.
Well, you know, there have been a lot of comparisons for Gabby and Guillaume this week to the great Torben Dean, Olympic champions. Big shoes to fill. But what they've done is they've created their own style. They've got something totally unique on the ice, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't compare them at all. Actually, I feel like they're dream weavers, and if you get caught up in the spell, it's too late. You're in love. Nothing you can do about it. Game over.
They're very expressive, for sure. I think everyone here was so quiet when they were skating, and then there was that moment before you started clapping because you were yourself in a trance. So they end up taking the gold, the Shibutanis right behind them in silver, and then yes, Chalk and Bates taking the bronze. Weaver Pogier finishing 5th, Gillis and Poirier 8th. So 2 top 10 finishes for the Canadians there. Let's see what Pap and Sis can do right now in the Gala.
The ice dance pair from France skating to a little Canadian music. Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd. Wonder what kind of performance they'll put on at the Gala. We're always so used to seeing them being graceful and pretty and flowy. Maybe we'll see a little swagger.
Wrapped in my thoughts about your mind.
I'm going to take back the word swagger, and I'm going to use steamy.
I hope they don't melt the ice. We still have one skater to go.
And he's testing out a new program.
No time for the Zamboni either.
Okay, here we go. Here's the weekend. Work it. Work it.
Practicing their hip hop for next year's short dance, I think, a little bit.
Oh, is that one of the themes?
Yeah,
for
that's one
next
of
year?
the rhythms for next year. Getting in some early practice.
That's definitely something different for ice dancers.
Absolutely.
There are the ice dance world champions, two-time and reigning world champions, Gabriel Papadakis and Guillaume Cizeron. And here's another skater who retained his world title. That is Javi Fernandez coming up next. Javier Fernandez of Spain was trying to get into character, but with everyone cheering and clapping, that little smile couldn't help but break through.
From glen to glen, and down the mountainside, the summer's gone.
sport right now, and I can't think of a better ambassador than Javier Fernandez.
That smile has not left his face all week long, and why not?
Two-time world champion, Javier Fernandez.
Makes you want to put
Better way to end, could you, than with that performance? Absolutely beautiful.
Let's head ringside now with Scott Russell.
Thanks very much, Andy. And so we put a stamp on a bit of an ice revival here in Boston. Great crowds, immense talent, remarkable sport, and a hefty dose of drama. France, Spain, Canada, and Russia all won championships here. But the competition is over. And what's to be the lasting impression of Boston? Well, there can't be any question about that. All of figure skating is a big winner. Want to say thank you to all our crew here in the United States and back home in Canada. And next week, the Canadian Olympic and Paralympic swim trials, live streaming on cbcsports.ca, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern from April 5th to the 10th. Next Saturday on Road to the Olympic Games, full coverage of those trials, plus Canada Cup diving from Gatineau, Quebec. We're on the air at 2 p.m. Eastern. For all of us, thanks for watching, and so long from the Garden in Boston.